Ever scroll through your feed and think, wow, Facebook's really everywhere?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's crazy how this company, now Meta Platforms, went from like a college project to this huge global tech giant.
It really is.
So today we are going to dive into Facebook's journey, the challenges they've faced and where they might be headed.
Yeah, sounds good.
By the end, you'll have a way better understanding how it all happened without having to read a ton of articles yourself.
That's a good deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So it all started in a Harvard dorm room back in 2003.
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
Mark Zuckerberg created this website called FaceMash.
FaceMash.
It was this website that let students compare photos of their classmates.
Pretty much.
It was controversial, and it didn't last long.
No, it didn't.
But it sparked the idea for Facebook.
It really did. It just shows you never know where innovation will come from.
Right.
Sometimes a simple, even controversial idea can lead to something huge.
Totally. And just a year later, the Facebook launched.
Catchy.
At first, it was only for Harvard students.
Makes sense?
But it got super popular really fast and spread to other universities.
Like wildfire.
And by the end of 2004, they already had 1 million users.
Wow, that's fast.
And Zuckerberg even dropped out of Harvard to focus on the company full-time.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a gamble, right?
Huge gamble.
But it shows how much he believed in his vision. It's like that classic entrepreneur story, you know?
Yeah.
Taking a leap of faith and betting big on an idea that could change everything.
And it definitely paid off for him.
It did.
But Facebook's growth wasn't always smooth sailing,
Of course not.
There were some really important moments that shaped its path. Some good and some not so good.
Definitely.
I think you could say there were two distinct eras in their growth.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Between 2005 and 2012, we saw this huge expansion and a ton of innovation.
Yeah, a lot happened during those years.
Like in 2006, they introduced the news feed.
Oh yeah, the newsfeed, that was big.
It totally changed the game.
It did. It changed how people used Facebook.
Right. Instead of just seeing posts in chronological order,
Yeah.
you started seeing content based on your interests and who you were connected to.
Yeah, that was a really smart move,
I mean, it was genius.
Yeah, it made the whole experience way more personalized.
And people got way more engaged with the platform.
For sure, it really set the stage for Facebook's success.
Absolutely. Then in 2012, they acquired Instagram for $1 billion.
Wow, $1 billion.
People were skeptical at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the same year, they had that massive IPO.
The IPO, yeah.
It valued the company at over $100 billion.
That's insane.
It was the biggest tech IPO in history up to that point.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a whirlwind.
It was a defining moment for Facebook,
Yeah, it really solidified their position as a tech giant.
Totally. But with that kind of success also came new challenges.
Of course.
Yeah, from 2013 to 2020, they faced a lot more controversy and scrutiny.
Yeah, that period was rough.
It was the Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018 was a huge turning point.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was the misuse of data from millions of users caused outrage worldwide.
And it really put data privacy in the spotlight.
It did. It eroded public trust in Facebook.
Big time.
And they had to start dealing with the responsibility that comes with having so much power and influence.
Right. And then in 2020, Apple made those privacy changes.
Oh, yeah, where users could opt out of data tracking.
Exactly. And that hit Facebook's advertising model hard.
It did. Their revenue took a big hit.
Yeah, it forced them to rethink how they did advertising.
And how they used user data.
And then in 2021, they announced they were rebranding to Meta Platforms.
Meta Platforms.
It was a sign that they were shifting their focus to building the metaverse.
Yeah, the metaverse is their big vision.
Right, creating this immersive digital world.
It's like a successor to the mobile internet.
It's a bold vision.
It is. They imagine everything from virtual meetings and healthcare training to these crazy entertainment experiences.
Right, imagine surgeons practicing complex surgeries virtually without any risk to patients.
Exactly, or attending a concert with millions of people from all over the world.
Like that Travis Scott performance on Fortnite back in 2020.
Yeah, something like that. It sounds pretty sci-fi, but the technology is moving fast.
It really is. So the question is, can Meta overcome all the hurdles?
Yeah, like privacy concerns and making sure it's accessible to everyone.
And dealing with potential social downsides.
Right. Those are all big questions.
Building the metaverse responsibly means thinking carefully about how it will impact people and society as a whole.
Absolutely.
We need to be aware of the potential risks while also exploring the amazing potential it has.
Definitely. And besides the metaverse,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence is another big part of Meta's strategy.
It's not just about cool features.
No.
They're using AI to tackle huge challenges like content moderation and fighting misinformation.
Yeah, that's right. AI plays a crucial role in keeping the platform safe.
Like identifying and removing harmful content, like hate speech.
Exactly.
Right.
During the 2020 US election, they used AI to flag over 180 million posts for fact-checking.
180 million posts.
That's a crazy amount of data.
It's mind-blowing how AI can handle that.
It is. But it also raises some questions, you know?
Definitely like about algorithmic bias and whether these systems are transparent enough.
Right, how can we make sure that these technologies are being used responsibly?
That's the key question,
It is transparency and responsible development are crucial.
especially as AI gets more and more sophisticated.
We have to watch out for potential biases and work towards creating systems that are fair and accountable.
Absolutely.
Huh.
And speaking of challenges,
Yeah,
misinformation is a constant battle for any platform,
that's for sure.
and Facebook or Meta is no exception.
It's one of our biggest challenges.
They're trying to tackle it in several ways
Like how?
by partnering with fact-checking organizations
Well, okay.
and creating educational programs like We Think Digital
Right.
and running media literacy campaigns.
Yeah. They've partnered with over 80 fact-checking organizations around the world
Wow.
to try and verify the accuracy of what's being shared on the platform.
But are these initiatives enough?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
What responsibility do individual users have in stopping the spread of misinformation?
It's a collective effort, you know?
Totally.
Users have a role to play too,
Right.
by thinking critically about information before they share it.
It's about developing media literacy skills and encouraging healthy skepticism.
Absolutely. Those are crucial for combating misinformation online.
And of course, Meta isn't the only player in the social media game.
Of course not.
They face competition from other platforms like TikTok.
Yeah, especially among younger audiences.
Right. You see trends like hashtag TikTok made me buy it.
Yeah, TikTok has really changed things up.
Yeah, their short form video content and algorithms have attracted a whole new generation of users.
It just shows how quickly the social media landscape can change.
Totally. What works today might not work tomorrow.
Exactly.
So Meta's launched Reels on Instagram and Facebook to compete with TikTok.
Makes sense.
And they're investing heavily in creator tools and ways for creators to make money.
It's a constant race to stay ahead of the curve.
It really is.
Yeah.
So can Meta, with all its challenges, stay on top in this ever-changing tech world?
Yeah, that's the billion-dollar question.
What does the future hold for them?
Well, the tech world is so unpredictable.
It is.
User preferences are constantly changing.
Yeah,
Only time will tell how Meta navigates all of this.
right.
But one thing's for sure,
What that?
their journey is a fascinating example of the power of technology
It really is.
and the huge impact it has on our lives.
Absolutely. We've only scratched the surface here.
Yeah, just a little taste.
We'll be diving deeper into specific parts of their journey in the next segment,
Looking forward to it.
so stay tuned.
Definitely. You know, Facebook's impact goes way beyond just connecting friends and family.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's become this platform for businesses, a place to get news, a marketplace.
It's even a political battleground.
It really is. Their algorithms have a huge influence on what we see and how we interact with the world.
So understanding how Meta has evolved
Mm-hmm.
is really key to understanding today's digital landscape.
I completely agree.
Let's zoom in on some specifics now.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm really interested in their push into the metaverse.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole ambitious endeavor?
Well, it's a bold vision for sure.
Potentially revolutionizing how we work, learn, play, and connect.
Imagine a world with no physical limitations.
Right.
Like you could attend a conference in Paris from your living room in New York,
That would be amazing.
or explore the ocean depths without even getting wet.
That sounds like something out of science fiction.
I know, right? But the technology is advancing so rapidly,
It really is.
and Meta is betting big on its potential.
They believe it's going to be the next major computing platform.
Yeah, like the successor to the mobile internet.
It's interesting because they're not alone.
Right.
Other tech giants like Microsoft and Apple are also investing in augmented and virtual reality.
Yeah, it's a race to shape the future of digital interaction.
And Meta wants to be the leader.
They've invested heavily in hardware, like the Oculus VR headsets.
And in software for creating metaverse content.
Right, they're even creating their own metaverse world called Horizon Worlds.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
It's where users can interact, play games, attend events, and even build virtual spaces.
Wow.
It's still early days, but the possibilities are huge.
They are. Imagine attending a virtual concert with friends from all over the world.
Exactly. Or working together in a virtual workspace that feels just like a real office.
Or doctors practicing complex surgeries virtually before they operate on real patients.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Or students going on virtual field trips to historical landmarks.
The potential benefits are huge.
They are. But there are also some big challenges.
Of course.
Creating a truly immersive and inclusive metaverse will require overcoming a lot of technical hurdles.
Definitely. And we need to make sure it's secure and protects people's privacy.
Right. And we have to address things like accessibility and potential social downsides.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of things like addiction.
And social isolation.
And the possibility that it could worsen existing inequalities.
It's really important that the development of the metaverse is guided by ethical principles
I agree.
and a commitment to inclusivity and accessibility.
Absolutely. And we also need to think about the economic implications.
Right, like who will control this virtual world?
Exactly. Will it be dominated by corporations?
Or will it be more decentralized and open?
These are all important questions to consider as the metaverse takes shape.
They really are. The decisions made today will have a huge impact on tomorrow's digital landscape.
No doubt about it.
Let's shift gears now and talk about Facebook's role in combating misinformation and online hate speech.
Okay. Yeah, that's been a challenge for them.
It has, and it's one they haven't always handled well.
I mean, the platform is just so massive.
It is billions of users sharing content all over the world.
It makes it incredibly difficult to monitor and moderate everything.
It's a constant struggle to stop the spread of harmful content
Facebook has been accused of being slow to react.
and of putting profits ahead of user safety.
Yeah, their algorithms have also been criticized for amplifying divisive content.
And creating echo chambers.
They have taken some steps to address these concerns, though.
Like what?
Well, they've invested in content moderation teams
Okay.
and partnered with fact-checking organizations.
Right.
And they're developing AI-powered tools to detect and remove harmful content.
They've also introduced features like flagging posts for misinformation.
And giving users more control over their news feeds.
But some critics say they need to do even more,
Yeah, some people think there should be stronger regulation.
while others believe the focus should be on media literacy and empowering users to be more discerning.
It's a complex issue with no easy solutions.
It really is.
Finding the right balance between free speech and protecting users from harm is a tough act.
And as technology keeps evolving,
Right.
the challenges of moderating online content will only get tougher.
Like with the rise of deepfake.
Exactly. It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's fake.
Platforms like Facebook need to stay vigilant and adaptable.
They do. Now let's talk about another aspect of Facebook that's gotten both praise and criticism.
Okay, what's that?
Artificial intelligence.
Ah, yes, AI.
It's deeply embedded in pretty much every part of Facebook's operation.
But absolutely.
From personalizing news feeds and recommending friends
Yeah.
to targeting ads and detecting fake accounts.
It's the engine that drives so many features.
But it also raises some ethical concerns.
Of course, about privacy bias and transparency.
Right. Facebook's algorithms have been accused of perpetuating discrimination
Like how?
by showing certain job ads only to men, for example,
Oh, wow.
or housing ads primarily to white users.
Yeah, that's not good.
And there are also concerns about the lack of transparency in how these algorithms work.
Those are valid concerns for sure.
And Facebook has taken some steps to address them.
Big way.
Well, they've released tools that allow users to see why they're seeing in certain ads
That's okay.
and to control their ad preferences.
That's good.
And they've also said they'll audit their algorithms for bias.
And work with outside experts to ensure fairness and equity.
But it's an ongoing process.
It is. As AI gets more sophisticated,
Right.
we need to have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications.
For sure. We need to make sure that AI benefits society as a whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not just the tech companies that develop it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
AI is a tool,
it is.
and it can be used for good or bad.
That's right. The responsibility lies with us to make sure it's used ethically and responsibly.
Now, let's shift our focus to the competitive landscape.
Okay.
Facebook, or Meta, faces a lot of competition from other platforms that want our attention and our data,
Yeah, that's the nature of the game.
like TikTok with its short-form videos
Yeah.
and addictive algorithm.
Yeah, TikTok's a serious competitor, especially with younger generations.
And then you have platforms like Snapchat, Pinterest, and Twitter.
Each one catering to a slightly different niche.
Right. And let's not forget messaging apps like WhatsApp and Messenger.
Yeah, they're becoming increasingly popular for communication and even for business.
Facebook has adapted. by acquiring some of its competitors.
Like Instagram and WhatsApp.
Exactly. And they're developing new features to keep up.
Like Reels.
And they've invested in live streaming and e-commerce.
And they've even ventured into virtual reality gaming.
It's a constant battle to stay relevant.
It really is. But you know what?
What?
The competition is actually good for users.
How so?
Well, it drives innovation.
Okay.
And it pushes platforms to offer better experiences.
That's true.
It gives users choices.
Yeah.
And it prevents any single company from having too much control over our online interactions.
A diverse and competitive social media landscape is important.
It is. It's essential for creativity, innovation, and a healthy exchange of ideas.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Facebook or Meta,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on their future.
Well, predicting the future is always tricky.
It is.
But Meta is definitely at a crossroads.
They're facing challenges on multiple fronts.
Like what?
Regulatory scrutiny, public distrust, fierce competition, and all the ethical dilemmas that come with AI.
Yeah, those are some big challenges.
Their metaverse venture is a gamble.
It is. It could be a huge success or a spectacular failure.
And the battle against misinformation and online hate speech will continue to test them.
No doubt.
But despite all of that, Meta is still a powerful force in the tech world.
They are.
They can't afford to just sit back and relax, though.
No, if they want to succeed in the long run,
Right.
they need to regain the public's trust
And figure out how to navigate the ethical complexities of AI.
and adapt to the ever-changing demands of users.
And they need to find a way to balance their pursuit of profit with their responsibility to society.
That's a tall order.
It is, but it's one they have to fulfill if they want to remain relevant and respected.
Their future depends on the choices they make today.
It really does.
Yeah,
Will they prioritize user privacy and safety?
right. Will they use their power to promote positive social change?
Will they create technologies that truly benefit humanity?
Those are the big questions.
And only time will tell what the answers are.
But one thing's for sure.
With that,
Facebook or Meta's journey will continue to be fascinating and consequential.
it will. It's shaping the digital landscape and will continue to do so for years to come.
I agree.
Wow, it's been quite a journey exploring Facebook's evolution from its humble beginnings to its metaverse ambition.
It really has.
What stands out to you most about their path?
I think it's remarkable how Facebook's story really mirrors the internet's own development. You know, it started as a way to connect with friends and family,
Right.
but then it quickly became something much bigger.
Yeah.
A platform for communication, commerce, entertainment, and even political activism.
It's true. It's like a microcosm of society.
Exactly, reflecting both the good and the bad of human nature.
Right. And just like society, Facebook is constantly evolving.
Yeah, always facing new challenges and opportunities.
And the decisions they make have a huge impact.
Yeah, not just for their users, but for the world.
Their focus on the metaverse has definitely sparked a lot of debate.
For sure.
Do you think this is the right move for them?
It's a gamble, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the metaverse is still in its early stages,
Right.
and there's no guarantee it'll be the next big thing.
Yeah.
But if it does take off, Facebook wants to be a major player.
Yeah.
They've poured a lot of resources into it.
They're developing hardware, software, even their own virtual world.
It's a bold move.
It is.
Only time will tell if it pays off.
Right.
But the metaverse is a captivating concept
It is.
with the potential to revolutionize how we interact with technology and each other.
If you could ask Mark Zuckerberg one question about the future of Meta, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I would ask him, how will you ensure that the metaverse becomes a force for good, not just for profit?
That's a great question.
You know, it's crucial that they prioritize ethical considerations, privacy, accessibility, the well-being of their users.
Absolutely. The metaverse has incredible potential for connection, creativity, innovation,
It does,
but it also carries risks.
for sure.
Approaching its development with caution and a clear vision for the future is so important.
I agree. It's a shared responsibility.
Yeah.
We all need to hold companies like Meta accountable
Right.
and make sure that the technologies they create are used ethically.
And for the benefit of humanity.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'd like to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay.
If Facebook's story reflects our own digital evolution,
Yeah.
what does that say about us as individuals and as a society? What role do we play in shaping the future of the internet and the technologies that influence our lives?
Those are important questions to consider.
They are.
We're all part of this digital ecosystem,
Right.
and our choices matter.
They do.
Let's strive to be informed, engaged, and responsible digital citizens.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Facebook Now Meta.
It was my pleasure.
It's a story that's still unfolding,
It is.
and we'll be watching closely to see what the future holds.
Definitely.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep shaping the future of technology.
Absolutely.